All right, welcome to the Stolendroids Podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm Marley.
I'm Zonner.
And I'm last.
There we go.
That was impressive.
Was it?
After weeks of doing this, we still haven't gotten it down to like just go with like I'm Marley. I don't care who goes after me. It's just not Zach because I know he's.
I care specifically about who goes before me, and it's all y'all.
All y'all.
See, and I appreciate the proper use of that.
Y'all is singular. Y'all is singular.
Yes.
All y'all is plural.
Yes, you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
What about yous? What's yous?
Yous?
Use?
That depends. That depends on who's saying it. Because I've heard Ewans as like the plural of yous.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Now that we've talked about how to say you and the plural of you properly, tonight we are talking about cartoon crushes. Wait.
Before, I have a follow-up from last episode.
Okay.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yes,
I'm on season
report,
2, episode 5.
You're on season 2, episode 5?
Yes.
Wow.
So
What?
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having internet issues tonight, so like I kind of like out there for a minute and then I'm back. So
I feel like she's setting this up so she can drop off at some point when it gets weird as we talk about cartoon crushes.
Yeah.
Internet issues.
No,
I don't know.
That's my thought too. But yeah, thank you all for turning me on to that.
I'll turn you on.
It is a highly entertaining television program.
Yeah, give us a quick book report. All right. So you're in front of the class. Tell us about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No, it's great. The character development's great. Boyle, I think, is one of my favorites. I think Terry is awesome. Jake is Jake. Jake is about what you would expect from Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
So there's no real big surprises there. But yeah, I love Boyle. I think Boyle is awesome. And then the two losers, like I can't even remember their names.
Scully and Hitchcock.
Scully and Hitchcock, yes. Those two are freaking hilarious, just in their stupidity and density.
They get a lot more play later on too.
Oh, I love it.
Do.
I love it. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun watching that. So thank you.
Okay.
Yay! I'm so happy.
The first season sets up a lot, like character-wise and stuff. As season 2 progresses, and especially into 3, you're going to start seeing a lot more of the emotion come out. I'm excited for you to get into it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm digging it. So yay.
Yay!
Okay, now speaking of getting turned on.
Whoa. Well,
Marley,
okay.
this is a good time for your camera to crap out.
Yeah. So we're talking today about cartoon crushes, past, present,
and future. Indoor coming. It's gonna be big.
So as we talk,
Oh, that's another one.
Write it down. Oh my gosh, cartoon crushes. Quick disclaimer.
yes,
Everybody in the world who has seen a cartoon has had a crush on a cartoon character. If you say you have not, you're a damn liar.
Well, and it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be gross about it either. Like that's not what we're getting at all. It's not a gross thing.
yes. And Zonner, I hope you're listening. You don't have to get gross about it. All right, you don't have to. Like a crush isn't necessarily anything like overly sexual or physical. It's more of a like you really like that individual or whatever, but it's not like a sexual thing necessarily. I mean, when you had a crush,
you like their personality, you like the way they're drawn, and you wish they were real so you could have sex with them. That's all it is.
That really is all that it's about.
You're attracted to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna like. There's no way it's not gonna get weird. Like, there's no way it's not gonna get weird.
It's really not. So, yeah, you've been warned.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's start with former cartoon crushes that you guys may have had. We'll find out who's got the weirdest one here. So, Zonner, what do you have for us? He's gonna be some Hanna-Barbera old cartoon, like original, like it's gonna be Wilma Flintstone or something.
Betty Rubble.
Betty, if we're, I think as a child, not child, but as a youth, definitely had it more for Betty. But as I'm growing up, I'm like, Wilma, she's got it going on, and she's got a great head on her shoulders and a great
redhead, man.
I dig her pearls, you know.
I think my struggle with Wilma would be she's much more high maintenance than Betty is.
Is she?
I think so.
I think Fred's more high maintenance than.
Well, yeah, Fred's obviously a problem.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Zoner, your original cartoon crush?
You know, I was talking to my wife about this, and I said, I'm having a really tough time coming up with who this would be. And she said, Jessica Rabbit. I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, totally Jessica Rabbit. So I guess it was
that was her cartoon crush, or she thinks
no,
that's
mine.
Oh,
mine. So apparently Jessica Rabbit was one of my cartoon crushes, which is really weird because, you know, Zach, you said that you're a liar if you say you've never had one. I remember I was in 5th grade and Jem and the Holograms was on. And one of my best friends was over at my house and we were watching it. And he said, you know, if she wasn't a cartoon, and the conversation kind of devolved from there.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, dude, she's a cartoon. And so I've always struggled with this topic, but if I got to pick one, I guess I got to go with Jessica Rabbit, maybe, because my wife says that's what I have to do.
So Jessica Rabbit, I think, is a popular one. I know, Zach, you posted the question on Facebook, and I think there were a couple of people who said Jessica Rabbit.
Yes, and we'll get more into that later, but yes, Jessica Rabbit was definitely at the top. But, I mean, it's not her fault. She's not bad.
She's just drawn that way.
Yeah.
Hey, we all knew it.
Right over the plate, baby.
You know, though, I will say probably if I had to say that I had one would be Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hot brunette, likes to read. Yeah, whatever.
Right from the moment that you met her, saw her, you said she's gorgeous and you fell.
I did.
Nice. No, Belle's a good example of, like, granted, yes, she's a cartoon, but it's not just like the look, it's the personality, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, look at me, I'm drawn this way, kind of like Jessica Rabbit. Although Jessica Rabbit does have that.
That's
Well, not even those.
sorry.
But just the way that she is, you know, like when she's playing patty cake with Roger, that just cracks me up every single time. And I think, you know, there's certain aspects of Jessica Rabbit besides the physical that people could find themselves attracted to. Whereas with characters like Belle or Ariel or, you know, Esmeralda, Mulan, you know, the Disney princesses, there's a lot more than just how they're drawn or how they're animated. It's a personality. It's just more.
Yeah, Belle's definitely probably at the top of my list as well.
She was
This
popular.
feels so weird to be talking about, by the way.
Well,
I just gotta.
So let me tell you, like,
It's not weird.
and
not
Belle's
weird.
interesting because, you know, Jessica Rabbit is definitely supposed to be
voluptuous.
Yes.
And Belle is not. I mean, even like the three girls that are in the town that are like upset because Gaston doesn't even notice them because he likes Belle. Like, they are more the typical, like, blonde and
Yes.
They're
You know,
the village bimbos.
Big
I think
boobs.
that's what they're named in the script. I think they're called the village bimbos or bimbettes or something like that.
Oh,
Bets.
and Belle is very much the opposite. And like,
Because she reads.
one of the first things that I really liked about my wife when I met her was
they're
she liked
called
to
they're called the bimbettes. Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette.
I love it.
So one of the things that first attracted me to my wife is that she likes to read. She has brown hair. I was like, I'm dating a real life Belle. It was perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
And she got
I really like that because Jake, I've always considered you a beast.
Ooh.
Oh goodness. You know,
that was hot.
Marley, who was your cartoon crush?
I feel like I had a few when I was younger. I'll just name two of them though for right now, because I'm sure we can talk about these later. But I think one of my biggest ones was early on was actually Simba, because also it didn't help that he was voiced by Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who
Right.
like every girl had a crush on. And so to hear his voice, and he was like this cute, like little animal, like, yeah, is probably Simba. And also when I was younger, I was really obsessed with the Anastasia movie. So Dimitri, oh, such a babe.
Can't believe you're sleeping on Bartok.
Was that the bat? Bartok
Yeah.
was the bat.
I
Right?
give it a ha and a hey yeah and a
Right.
wah, and I
kick her, sir. I love that movie. I love
That is a good movie
too.
That's an underrated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, we can talk about our the rise and falls of Don Bluth, but that was definitely a rise.
Yes, I love that one.
There was that wasn't a double entendre, Jacob.
I didn't say a word.
I saw
Nothing.
your face, and you were like,
No. I hit well.
I'm a teenage boy. Gosh dang it.
So, okay, Dimitri's good. Simba's a little bit weird because he's not like a person.
I know,
Yeah.
but like Simba is, and Nala messed up a lot of kids, I think. During Candy Love Tonight, and Nala's giving those bedroom eyes, you're like,
You know, as a kid, you don't really think much of that. As an adult, you're like, they gonna get laid.
And as a teenager, that's all you're thinking about, like, ever. So
Yeah.
there is a running theory that in Disney movies, anytime like the main girl and main guy sing their song together, it is euphemism for their first time making love.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch all the Disney movies.
There's something sweet and almost kind.
yeah, see, that one's going to be a little bit weird.
I don't know, because in the live action Beauty and the Beast, at the end of the movie, after he turns back into Dan Stevens, she's dancing with him, and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "How do you feel about growing out a beard?" And he goes, "Rawr." So I think she was into the Beast.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
A whole new world has a whole new meaning now.
Yeah, it does.
Aladdin. That's another one. Oh
No,
my goodness.
Disney freaking racked up the cartoon crushes.
They really
they
did,
really
I
did.
think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to think of growing up in the 90s and not think of a lot of the Disney cartoons as like ones that you would put in that category.
Because a lot of the there's the Disney princesses who you guys have already mentioned a couple, but then we can't forget about the Disney princes. Like they're just as attractive, because
Prince Naveen.
and
Naveen's a
Eric and Prince Eric.
Hey, don't forget who put the Gladiator.
Hercules, whose daring deeds make great theater.
Man, homeboy had a blow up. Let me tell you.
Or John Smith in Pocahontas. Like, dang. Yeah, no, there's some, like, seriously, like, there's...
Or Quasimodo.
If you're into that.
I mean, I had a girl crush on Esmeralda.
You had a crush on a lion, Marley.
I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. There are some deep corners of the internet.
Yes.
No, it's a friend.
As I was trying to research this, I was really scared of Rule 34 popping up on my screen.
Yeah, that's Rule 34 of the internet is if something exists, someone has made a pornography of it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, my first one. So Zonner, your first one, you're thinking
probably Belle, I guess. Belle. Although my wife says Roger Rabbit or Jessica Rabbit.
Jake,
Oh, Belle was definitely mine.
Belle, and Marley. We're going Simba, right? Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Simba.
JTT.
We lost Marley for a second. She'll be back. I'm
Or
gonna go
she
with
is
mine.
just stuck thinking about Simba. I can't tell what it is here. It's
That's lovely.
For all of you listening and not watching, I just froze, pretty much pulling the exact same pose that Marley pulled.
Yes.
So I'm gonna deviate a little bit. I think one of my first cartoon crushes that I really remember was Misty from Pokemon, right?
Which makes sense considering the big
it's
Pokemon guy
Dimitri.
you are.
Oh, Dimitri. Okay, she's back. Marley's back.
I was like saying that as I was cutting out. I was like, no, it's not Simba, Dimitri.
Screaming it into the void. Dimitri! Marley, it's my turn. I had a crush on Misty. And I think part of it was also like the pure desire that I just wanted Pokemon to be real so bad. And I wanted to travel around the world with my friends and a cute girl by my side. You know,
you wanted to be the very best.
like similar to no one ever
was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it made me who I am today, you know? No, but I had a friend. For any of you who are unfamiliar, I did something called a mission, which is where I basically went and did church charity work for 2 years. And one of the partners that I had, his name was Elder B, we'll call him. Elder B was talked a little bit slow, and he's from Kentucky. And Elder B is one of my favorite people in the entire world. But every night he would tell me bedtime stories about me and him going on Pokemon adventure.
That is awesome.
And in the story, and this is me as a full adult now, right? And in the story, we went to Cerulean City, and we met Misty, and she came with us on our adventures, and she started dating Cipriano. I was like, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, she did.
Great. Oh, and in this story he told, for anyone familiar with the Pokemon anime, this will sound familiar. It's time for me and Elder B to get our very first Pokemon. So he goes to Professor Oak's house on time, and he gets a Charmander because he's wanted a Charizard since forever. And I sleep in. And so I missed the chance to get one of the three, Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. So I get there late, and there's only one Pokemon left. And who is it?
Pikachu.
That's what I thought. I was wrong. He's like, hey, no, you get a Togepi. But throughout his story,
Quite the twist.
I know, but throughout his story, I used Togepi to pick up chicks.
Nice.
Yep. So Misty for me.
That's a good choice. Pokemon was a little bit after my time. Like it was right in that pocket of like where I wasn't really watching a lot of cartoons. And so but I think Misty makes a lot of sense because of where you were and when you grew up and how popular Pokemon was. Yeah.
And she was I'm sorry. Whoa. I just get flustered talking about my first love.
I thought you had a stroke.
No. But she offers a different demographic than what all three of you offered, and that is that she is anime rather than our traditional Disney animation.
There's a lot of first crushes out there that are anime. And
there's a lot more current crushes that are anime.
Correct.
Yeah. Like I'm sure there's like Sailor Moon's got to be one that's out there that people.
Colin texted me. He said Sailor Moon with the drooly face.
So I've not watched a lot of Sailor Moon, but my girls have discovered it now on Hulu, and they're into it and watching a lot of Sailor Moon. So we've got a lot of that going on in the house. I don't have any idea what's going on when I'm watching it. It's like
watching
anime.
Sailor Moon Crystal R because there's a difference.
I think it's Crystal R, so I don't know.
That's the remake, everybody. I've never seen any of it.
Okay.
But you guys want to hear another great story about Sailor Moon and Elder B?
Sure.
You don't have a choice. Here we go. First night I'm with Elder B. We're driving through middle of nowhere, Texas, and I look up and I see the moon. And I go, man, that's.
I just want to point this out right now. We do have a choice. I can always mute Zach.
Oh, I thought he
As
just
you
stopped
mute Zach.
talking. I didn't realize you muted.
Sorry, Zach. Go ahead and go. I won't do that again.
This story will wait for later. We're talking about cartoon crushes right now. I'm sorry. I don't need to derail this. All right, here we go. We're doing this. I am now, before we get into current crushes, I'm going to start going through Facebook, and we're going to talk about some of the first crushes that people had. You guys ready?
Yes.
The first one that came up was an anime character, Ryoko from Tenchi Muyo. Anyone familiar with that character?
Yeah, anime is not my strong suit.
I know one anime, Avatar: The Last Airbender. So there we go.
Okay, but
why have we not talked about that on this show?
I don't know. But if we're talking best girl from Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'd have to say Ty Lee.
Ty Lee's she's a good choice. Ty Lee's a good choice.
The acrobatic one, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but that beach episode, it's a great episode.
Playing volleyball.
Everybody, okay, you get Zuko taking his shirt off.
I was going to say, you get a little bit of something for everybody.
Everybody gets something in that.
I mean, can we talk about that? Because I mean, if we're talking about, are we going to wait till we get into current?
Sorry, we'll wait till we get into current.
Okay, because I have things to say.
Yes, we will wait.
Okay,
we will wait.
I just pulled up a picture of Ryoko. Redhead, for those who are unfamiliar with the character. So.
Oh, is she the redhead? I thought she had. No, she has blue hair, man.
Oh, it's the wrong Ryoko then.
Yeah, it is.
There's more than one.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, she's got blue hair. Okay. Anyway,
It's one of those red-blue colorblind people.
I get it. So this is an older anime. Coming up next, and this is another cartoon crush that I probably had. Kim Possible.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that show.
Mm-hmm.
My son-in-law, when I mentioned this topic to him, he's all, Kim Possible.
Yeah.
She was mine. Kim Possible.
Yep. No, I mean, she was, a strong, independent woman, but she hung out with nerds.
And she's a redhead.
Or does she have blue hair? It's hard to tell.
I can't tell. I've got that vision thing. I don't know. Google failed me. Apparently, there's more than one Ryoko.
We've got next up going back to Disney here, Prince Eric and Jessica Rabbit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So another vote for Jessica Rabbit. I could see the appeal of Prince Eric. He's got a strong jaw. He's got those big old baby blues, like a perfect coiffed haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's brave.
Yeah. And he doesn't like his women talking very much, so he's fine with no talkers.
We all.
Wow.
Weird. He was just okay with it. He's like, maybe, I guess she's shy. I don't know.
She's cute. Let's go for a boat ride. It's fine.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
I don't know. The frog's telling me to kiss a girl. I better do it. I don't think that would hold up in court, by the way.
Oh, consent is key.
It was consent. There was consent. She was leaning in. It was all. You don't have to. I think in this situation, Ariel was.
Wait.
Never mind. This isn't what we're talking about.
No, but we got to go back for just a second because you said, would this be the song that would have been like their first time?
No, because it's not it's not the main girl and the main guy singing to each other.
Okay, that's good because I was going to say Sebastian being there just makes it weird.
Yeah, you see,
Third wheel.
This is how you slip on the condom. He's like, ah.
Oh wow. All right, what else is on Facebook?
That was it. Okay, this was a really weird one. This was a super weird one. If anyone's familiar with the SSX Tricky games, those were some snowboarding games on the PlayStation and GameCube.
Okay.
Mac.
I don't know.
Which is weird because he's like super pixely, like PS2 graphic blockhead. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
He's got really big pants.
He's got massive pants.
And big shoes.
Those are some Kingdom Hearts level shoes right there.
And
folks.
not in a good way.
No. Next up, I have the girl squirrel from Sword in the Stone.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
There's a nice little gift to go along with it.
No, don't show their names.
It's blurry.
It's so funny. But Rachel,
like that is just strangely specific.
Sometimes those crushes
they get extra points just for like being that specific about it.
That is very
She's
specific.
only in there
I like
for
that.
like one sequence when he turns into the squirrel and then she kind of likes him. It's anyway.
Okay, well, Anthony Hopkins was only on screen for like 17 minutes and he still won an Oscar. So,
for which movie was that?
Silence of the Lambs.
Well, yeah, but he was amazing in Silence in the Lambs.
And apparently this squirrel was amazing in Sword in the Stone. She was a very affectionate.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let me take my mic and I'll drop it for you.
Like, yep. Next up, Yami, or no, that's not Yami. What's his name? Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh! So
was he like the main character in Yu-Gi-Oh?
He was one of the main antagonists.
Okay.
The main character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yugi.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Oh. So a lot of anime characters, and I hate to say it because I actually really like anime, but at one point they all kind of start looking the same. They just kind of palette swap the hair and the outfit. That is very true for characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you have a crush on this guy, you have a crush on all the
Every
other
guy
and the girls.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are dressed up as bondage slaves. They all have leather chokers, and I don't know why.
You do know why.
Style? I don't know.
Next up, we have Bugs Bunny dressed as a woman.
And
So
guess
this was
who
me.
posted it? Guess who posted it?
That was me. I actually didn't have a crush, but there's a great scene in Wayne's World where Wayne and Garth are laying on top of the car, and someone actually commented with this scene, and Garth kind of leans over to Wayne and he says,
we can say who commented. It was Tracy, one of the hosts from Movies That Make Us.
Right. And Garth kind of goes into it with Wayne, like, did you ever, when Bugs Bunny dressed up like a girl bunny,
you ever
find him attractive? And Wayne just laughs at him. I was like, no. And and Garth's like, me neither. That's how I pictured this conversation tonight going. Like, did you ever find this person? No.
That was actually the very first thing that came to my mind when we discussed what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Was that scene.
It's a good scene.
And I'm surprised, Jake, that you didn't have the audio for that to open with.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll try harder. Okay.
Post is amazing. All right. Next
you guys are giving me crap for liking Simba.
No, I would never do that.
I did.
This is a safe space.
Maybe for young Simba, adult Simba is way better. Once he lets his hair grow out.
Well, and then it's Matthew Broderick, which I have a crush on Matthew Broderick.
I was like, he's not JTT anymore.
No, he's much cooler. He's Ferris Bueller.
JTT isn't JTT anymore.
That's true.
Next up, we got another vote for Jessica Rabbit.
Yep.
She seems to be like the go-to.
Listen,
cartoons.
For a certain age group, she was the reason you couldn't watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes,
so true.
That is true.
Like, there were parents that were like, you can't watch the show just because of Jessica Rabbit.
That was my parents.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got vindication for you, Marley. We got ourselves a Dimitri from Anastasia.
Yay! That's because he's so cute.
He's got the JTT haircut. He's got the Jonathan Taylor Thomas 90s haircut.
Like
I was going to say it's the 90s.
Down the middle and the...
Yep. Dude, I sported that haircut all through middle school. I definitely had the part down the middle haircut going on.
Real quick, I saw a meme earlier today about that haircut, and it was like 4 different characters, like not cartoon, but real characters from other TV shows in the 90s. And it was like, if you had a crush on any of these guys back then you need to go take an Advil because you have like back pain, pretty much, because you're old enough to have back pain is what it means. And I was seriously like, Yeah, I can relate because I literally took ibuprofen earlier because my back was hurting. I'm like, oh no.
Nice.
Anyways.
All right, we've got another category. We've talked about anime. We've talked about like traditional Disney animation, and we've talked about animals. But now I've got like Western cartoons that are very cartoony. Like they look like people, but they're not. They definitely don't have like the same anatomy and stuff like that, right? And I'm talking about Danny Phantom.
Yep, I saw that was on the list.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to go with Optimus Prime because I saw somebody put that one on Twitter, and I'm like, Optimus Prime?
It's the voice, man.
Mm.
That's a voice that will take care of you. Peter Cullen?
Peter Cullen does have a pretty impressive voice.
Roll out. That's right. Next up, Zelda from The Legend of Zelda. Now that's tricky because she looks different in every single game.
Yeah,
and was she like was this person playing like the very first Legend of Zelda and saw that pixel princess and he's like, yeah. Or are we going more like Ocarina of Time? Are we going Twilight Princess? Are we going all the way now to Breath of the Wild where there's a specific scene where Zelda kind of bends over reaching for something and there's a nice little shot. Way to go, Nintendo.
Wow.
Yeah, that set the internet ablaze.
I need to play more Zelda, apparently.
Apparently, I do too.
But the interesting thing with Zelda, and I think Princess Peach has this same thing, is that you grow attached not only because they are, made to be an attractive girl cartoon, but also because you spend so many hours invested in the act of like rescuing or saving them.
I think you're right.
And I think especially if you're playing some of the older games where there's a lot left to the imagination, I think you start in your mind building up, as you're going through hours of gameplay, what Zelda looks like as you rescue her and everything else.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. All right. We got another for Team Aladdin.
Yeah, he's a babe.
He's a street
So?
Jake, if only you look closer, would you see a poor boy? No, siree. You'd find out. I have another Elder B story about that song, but you guys don't get to hear it.
we're on timeout from Elder B stories.
That's so good. Elder B stories are the best ones. Aladdin don't got nipples though, so
no. But I think that's
is that part of the appeal, Marley?
No, I don't know if that's part of the appeal.
Maybe
Marley?
Batman does.
Some Batmans have nipples.
George Clooney's Batman does.
Oh, they said Pac-Man. I'm like,
I heard Pac-Man too. I was like, I don't even think he's got legs, man.
I don't
Could you
want
imagine
Pac-Man
Pac-Man running around with nipples?
They would be called as power pellets.
But I'm trying to think.
What?
Did Tarzan have nipples?
Yes. Oh, Tarzan.
You're like keeping a list.
Now I feel like I've got to look that up because it might just be a Disney thing that they just didn't.
I swear.
Tarzan does have nipples.
Yes, Tarzan does have nipples.
Mm-hmm. Beast does not.
We could do like a whole episode on which cartoons, which Disney characters have nipples.
Turns back to Prince Adam. He ain't got none.
Well, we don't know. We don't see him without a shirt.
Yeah, we do. When he's like transforming.
He's got a ripped shirt and stuff. He's like,
okay.
Maybe they're strategically placed slits.
It's
like a slit here. It's like.
First, I thought you were going to say strategically placed nipples. And I'm like, well, no, I think they pretty much place those in the same spot on everyone. Plus your channel being, and then you've got an extra one.
Not on anime girls.
Well,
you never know where they're going to show up.
That's fair.
All right, next we have this girl. Sorry, I wasn't going to say, but whatever. This girl says always their first crush and their forever crush will be Prince Zuko.
Amen.
All right.
I'm curious about that. Do they like the bad boy? Do they like the redemption story?
Yes.
All of it, Zoner. All of it.
The facial scarring?
He's a tortured soul.
He's cute, and he's just really cute. If he was a real person,
That's the truth. I don't know. And I hate to say it, but I wonder what that face scar would look like in real life.
So you could always watch the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got a live action of that.
what
I don't think there is.
There's not a movie.
No, I know Netflix is about to make one, but Marley, do you think?
I only know of the cartoon TV show.
Yeah, that was smooth.
That works.
I felt like Zuko yesterday. We were on a walk with my wife, and I were walking, and a bee flew into my glasses and stung me like right under the eye. I'm like, I'm going to turn into Prince Zuko and have a big sword, but it didn't happen. It's fine now. But
That would have been awesome.
it would have been awesome. But I felt like that's probably how it felt when he got burned by his dad.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, definitely, no, for sure. You know exactly what he went through.
Twinsies.
Yeah, now I'm a tortured soul just like him.
Oh, Jake.
I've got to go find the
Now we're all falling in love with you. Jeez.
Oh.
Well, it was bound to happen eventually.
I mean, we talked about the whole personality thing. You got it right there, Zoner. Like his whole redemption arc, he's got like cute moments. I'll admit he's got cute moments in the series. Like, hey, Zuko here. Like you're just you sad little prince. You don't even know.
Cute. He just needs a hug. Like he's just somebody who's just like, come here.
Well, while we're talking about Avatar, did we have any votes for Toph or for Azula?
Toph, no, but Azula, I know people who've had crushes on Azula, I'm sure.
She's pretty cool.
I could not because
she was mean.
She's so scary.
Yeah.
She was scary. I had the opportunity to interview the voice actress.
Great Allow?
Yes.
Ooh. She's done a wasn't she Vicky in Fairly Odd Parents?
And she was Daphne on Scooby-Doo. She was...
That's a great first cartoon crush, Daphne.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Emily Elizabeth on Clifford the Big Red Dog. I mean, she's done like a million characters. But
Clifford the Big Red Dog, another great first cartoon crush.
Yes.
Hey, animals. See, I'm not the only one.
But after having met her and having her done the voice of Azula, like 6 inches from my face, that kind of changed me there a little bit.
How close were you? How close do you interview people?
Was it pre-COVID?
It was pre-COVID.
Yeah, it was pre-COVID. So, do you think with Clifford the Big Red Dog that like everything is proportionately bigger?
Good night, everybody.
I don't know because you don't see it on the screen.
Yeah, well, that's good. Never mind. I was just about to go on the anatomy of a dog's for you. It's like, well, listen.
Hey, I know a lot about dogs.
Gross.
I can tell you.
So I got another. Let's keep moving on. Going classic cartoons with this one. She-Ra, the original Princess of Power.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I think I was just too young to like consider it a crush at that point.
And I didn't get into He-Man cartoons as a child, so.
And see, I loved them as a kid, but I never really cared so much for She-Ra. And are we talking old school She-Ra from the 1980s, or are we talking the new one?
No, this person will be talking about the old one.
Okay,
but I do think there are a lot of people who like new She-Ra in a crush capacity.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what about Evelyn? We're talking Masters of the Universe, those kids who like the bad girl, Evelyn, right there.
Yeah, she was scary like Azula, though.
Yeah, true.
But sometimes that's
some people like that. It's just not my jam.
All right, now we're gonna go older school than that. I got Race Bannon from Johnny Quest.
Ooh,
wow,
that is old school.
He's got some real daddy energy.
Yeah,
I don't regret for saying that, man. Well, I could see that. Especially this person who commented about it. I think this was probably at an age where they were learning what they're into, and they're like, "Oh,
Oh."
And you know what? Their current partner, because I know this person, their current partner kind of has a race band and feel. So I guess it's stuck.
Good for
I
them.
care.
They have a type.
Just like the strong. I don't want to get into it. But then they also said Gaston.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
I'm surprised that's not on a lot of people's lists.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I am sure it is, and that's why they still have Gaston running around Disneyland.
Yes, true.
I mean, not currently, but yes, generally speaking.
Yeah, doing one-armed push-ups to impress everybody.
True.
Yes.
Our good friend Tracy from the show Movies That Make Us.
I've heard of him. I like him. He's a good guy.
Another good old suggestion for us, and he has the princess from the original Voltron.
Yes.
Ooh,
that's a good choice.
I cannot remember her name right now, and I feel really bad. It's Allura, Princess Allura, right?
Yep.
So I actually was talking to somebody about this the other day. Or actually it was earlier today because this came up, and I was like, well, who do you think is cuter, old Allura or new Allura from Voltron on Netflix? And the answer was both. They're both cuter.
Well, that doesn't work because it's a comparative question, so you can't pick both, and they can't both be cuter. They can both be equally cute. But yeah, that's deserved at this point.
Fascinated, Jacob. Wow.
But the Allura on the old Voltron, she piloted the Blue Lion, right?
Correct.
And what always bothered me, because her suit, because Tracy put the picture on there, and she's in the pink suit.
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody else had a suit that matched the color of their lion. Why did she have a pink suit?
She's a girl.
Because she's the girl.
Yeah. They wanted everybody to know she was the girl, so she was in the pink suit.
Yep.
Otherwise,
I forgot that she actually like donned a bikini and stuff in that show. So
yeah, and I think that was probably the first introduction of like bikini cartoon girl, and it probably got a lot of people going.
But the original Voltron was from Japan.
Correct. So it is an anime.
yeah, it is.
So they were a little bit heavier themed.
We got
I used to
somebody
watch that a lot.
heavier themed.
Yeah.
Oh, heavier themed.
Yeah. What did you think I said? Heavier. Never mind. Go ahead. Let's just
Robin Hood. About Robin Hood. Disney Robin Hood. And that's
he was a fox, man.
We've talked about this spectrum, right? Like right here, this is where Disney Robin Hood and Lola Bunny from Space Jam live, right?
Yes.
And over here we've got our Dimitris and our Princess Bells and like our human characters. And then I'm gonna say Judy Hopps is here. And then we've got Simba, right? So you have this scale of like
and Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood's
in the middle because he's anthropomorphized.
Oh, sorry.
I think Marley dropped out. She dropped out for a second.
I didn't know if you had.
I wonder what percentage of people who
don't go there. If this is going to go into something about furries, just don't.
No, there's definitely a furry thing, but it just goes to show everyone's
no correlation with furries.
No, apparently,
no.
Everyone's a little bit furry. You had a crush on a lion, Marley.
I am not into furries at all.
I'm not into them either, but everyone's a little bit furry sometimes.
But Lola Bunny.
Basketball Jones.
Yeah, and Jake, you know me so well.
I know.
Next up, this character is from Daria, but I don't know their name. It's the dude with the goatee. He was a punk rock guy. So
yeah, I know who you're.
I never watched
about.
Daria.
I watched it quite a bit, but
I don't know what that is.
I don't remember it, dude's name.
It was for Gen Xers. Don't worry about it, Marley.
He-Man. Actually, no, they have a GIF of Prince Adam here, so they might be talking Prince Adam, not He-Man.
Okay.
Well, it's a bold choice.
So it is.
Yeah, He-Man. Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Yep. I got another one here for Danny Phantom and going back Disney, Prince Philip.
Oh, that's old school Disney.
Sleeping Beauty.
Like they barely had faces in those animations. Like
no, Prince Philip. It's Sleeping Beauty. They started to get more expressive and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like if you were like, oh, Prince Charming from Snow White. I'm like,
yeah,
he had the same face as Snow White. What are you talking about? I just like it. Okay. Yeah, I'm switching sides so that I can be two different people. So what's going on?
I mean, in Snow White's defense, it was like Prince Charming or one of the seven dwarfs. So
you can't really blame her.
No, or the huntsman.
He did have facial hair.
Yeah, he did have a different face. You're correct.
Yeah.
Jessica Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. If this guy's got real Dimitri energy.
I know that's what.
Cornelius from Thumbelina.
Prince Cornelius.
Oh boy.
You are correct.
I loved Thumbelina. Okay, I'm all over this. He's so cute. And he sings.
And he has wings.
And he's got wings.
And he's a fairy.
Prince of the Fairies. They gotta have wings. Do you know who voices Thumbelina? I just learned this the other day. Jodie Benson.
Oh, does she?
Oh, she was Ariel.
Ariel and the Barbies in Toy Story.
Yep.
Amongst other things. Okay, this one I totally get. April O'Neil.
Absolutely.
Original.
Which version?
Original.
Yellow jumpsuit, April O'Neil with the big camera. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, is that
the big camera?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
No, short redhead Bob. No, I totally get that.
Another redhead.
Yep.
Yeah, redheads. I feel like redheads get a lot of play in the animated space.
They do.
Animated comics, you get a lot of play out of redheads. It's true. I grew up thinking that there would be a lot more redheads in the world, and
I did too. I also expected a lot more quicksand.
Yeah, not a lot of quicksand, huh, John Mulaney?
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
I need to watch some of his stuff. I hear he's funny.
All right. Who here is familiar with the movie Fern Gully?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Fern Gully? Yes.
You are one bodacious babe.
That's right. This person had a crush on Zach, the Mr. Blonde Mullet from Fern Gully. And I told my wife, and she's like, what about the girl from Fern Gully? Come on. Yeah. What was her name again? The fairy?
I don't know. But I know, like, I can picture her, and I can see her name.
Krista?
Krista! That is her name. Very nice.
What a fairy name. That's not even a fairy name. That's sarcasm right there. Like, couldn't they have come up with something a little more exotic?
What's a fairy name?
Not Krista.
That's racist. That's the most racist thing.
I can think of a fairy name that should be on the list. Tinkerbell. How did we not have Tinkerbell on the list yet?
Oh.
Tinkerbell's got it going on.
Yeah.
And the animators knew it when they drew her in that dress.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They knew. We got another Princess Allura from Voltron. Got another Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Naveen.
Oh, yes.
But people
like as a frog or just as the prince?
Both, man.
Yeah.
That would go to the whole attitude thing, I think. Personality, attitude.
And his smile. He's got the exact same smile.
I mean, I'm not attracted to the frog. Just because I'm attracted to Simba doesn't mean I'm attracted to all of the animal characters.
I love all of the animals.
I feel attacked.
Don't feel attacked, Marley.
Gotcha Man is on the list here. Gotcha Man's another anime. Looks like Speed Racer with a cape.
His scarf just extended into a cape.
All right, if we're talking about the furry spectrum, right? If this is this is Robin Hood, I'm moving more towards the furry side right here. Gadget from Rescue Rangers.
I was waiting for Gadget to come up.
Waiting?
Well, because I knew somebody would say Gadget, because Gadget is like one of the classic cartoon crushes for people.
All right.
I'm trying to remember what Gadget looks like.
She's a mouse.
That's
with
got it all going on.
Red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Gadget from Rescue Rangers?
Yeah.
Yes. And she could build anything.
Oh, Gadget! Yeah.
There's apparently a cult.
Oh yeah, the soda cult from it was an episode. It's a good one. We have
in Russia worships her.
Interesting.
Oh, like in real life.
Like in real life,
Oh,
there
that's
is a cult.
The
Wow.
Beast.
Didn't we already talk about that one?
But now I have the Beast when he turns human.
Mm.
So I got Prince Adam here,
Yeah.
who may or may not have nipples. We just don't know.
We don't know. Mystery. It's a mystery.
Chitara.
Yeah, so I thought about Chitara as we were thinking about cartoon crushes, because Thundercats is one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I don't know. The first episode, especially where like none of them are wearing clothes, is a really weird episode. I'm just gonna say it.
And then Tom Hooper saw it and was like, I can make a musical out of this. And Cats was born.
There you go.
Kita.
Yeah.
Kita from Atlantis.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
I can see that.
That's a blue-haired chick. I don't think I've ever seen it.
She has white hair.
Or white hair.
But blue tattoos.
You haven't seen Atlantis?
Yeah,
Dude,
I
it's a
don't
good
think
one.
I've ever seen it.
That's a good one.
It's on Disney Plus, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. No, she's drawn very well. She's very attractive. And the animators play into it. There's this whole scene where she strips down to her swimsuit, and Michael J. Fox, really appreciates it. But she's also strong-willed. She wants to learn. She can kick ass. Kita rocks.
Yeah.
Kita rocks.
Yeah, it's crazy how these women who dress scantily can also have personalities.
Isn't
Imagine
that odd?
And then I've got
I have no feminist comment to make, so we're just
my feminist comment is that is correct. If
exactly. I'm just gonna
you
agree.
do not want to wear a lot of clothes, that's fine, and you can still have a great personality. And you can wear a ton of clothes and have a real crappy personality. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll just leave it at that.
I've got one more on this list here for first crushes. Are you ready?
Yes.
The Suds Bubble Scrubber.
Oh, Scrubbing Bubbles? Scrubbing Bubbles.
Scrubbing Bubbles mascot.
Where does that fit on our
don't know.
spectrum?
Speaking of which, right there. See that?
That's just weird. I don't know who put that there,
I do. It's so funny.
but that's just weird.
But it's interesting to look at these, and people. What they also talked about their current cartoon crushes. Most of them are like, it still holds up for me today. Like they don't change much. But then there's some of them that really changed. Like one guy started off and he's like, I have a crush on this anime character. Now I have a crush on just animals. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's okay.
That's a jump.
I think for me, like Belle was one of the first ones that I remember that still sticks out in my mind. But then I also, in my early 20s, I would say probably Mulan was one that I liked quite a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mulan's pretty cool.
She was very independent and very strong. And if I had to pick one today, like Elsa would be up there.
Oh yeah.
Rapunzel from Tangled would be in there. Like
Elsa is queen.
Yeah. But she wouldn't give me the time of day because she doesn't need me.
Also,
Doesn't
I
need
don't
anybody.
think I think she's.
Yeah, there's a good possibility.
Marley's
Marley's got a better shot.
Yeah. That's not okay. Anyway,
Say, where were you? Is that not where you were going?
It was where I was going. I asked my wife her childhood crushes. First one she had was Shigo. the villain from.
Oh, yeah.
And also, this is my favorite. She had a big crush, like when she was 10, on Johnny Bravo.
Yes. Johnny Bravo?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Isn't that so funny?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, wow.
So dang
That's
funny.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't ask my wife. Let me go ask her right now. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
You know,
I think Johnny Bravo's a great one, though. And
Is
then
he?
you meet the dude
like,
who does the voice, and you're like, really?
Jeff Hill?
Yeah.
No, Jeff, what's his name? Bennett?
Jeff Bennett, I think.
Yeah, Jeff Bennett. Jeff Bennett rocks. He's such a good dude.
He really is a cool guy.
Did we already mention this one? Maybe when I got cut out a couple of times, but one I did want to mention was Flynn Rider. Did we talk about him?
Not yet.
Oh, we did not.
Yeah, Flynn Rider, but it also doesn't help that.
It doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt. Thank you. Doesn't hurt that he's voiced by Zachary Levi, and he is a total babe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh,
Flynn Rider. We're talking about Flynn Rider, Jake.
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, no, I heard.
Is
okay.
the babe.
Okay. Yeah.
Zachary Levi is amazing.
Yeah, and I think you just hit on something very important, Marley. You can kind of have like a sexy voice, you know, and like be attracted to the voice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like the look of Flynn Rider, but it's his voice.
Says the aspiring voice actor.
Well, you know, I'm just gonna say. Like I had a friend of mine for a while who was in love with Erin Esurance, that pink hair secret agent Esurance girl. Do you guys remember her from the commercial? Yeah. And she had a super kind of low, sexy spy voice, right? So it's kind of that whole package. It's the perfect storm, and it's confusing. You're like, why am I attracted to a cartoon? Because obviously I have attractions to real people. So what do I do with this?
Well, it makes it even more interesting when you realize that Johnny Bravo is the same as the man in the yellow hat from Curious George.
Voice-wise?
Voice-wise, voice actor. And also, yeah, I mean, it's awesome, though. It's awesome that voice can make you feel those things.
Yeah. I think what's interesting, kind of building off of that a little bit with the voice, I think it just goes to show we put a lot of stock in what people look like. And I mean, society at large, you know, like you're supposed to look a certain way, certain things are attractive, certain things are not attractive, and things like that. But the reality is what really attracts us to someone doesn't have to be what they look like or but instead their personality or their voice, or there's different characteristics that really attract us to people more than just looks, if that makes sense. Because if you can look at a cartoon character and be like, oh yeah, like I had a crush on that person or that character, you know, it does have a lot to do with maybe their personality, with their voice or something like that, and not so much what they look like. I mean, yeah. I don't think Marley is actually attracted to lion cubs.
I don't know.
There's people out there, Jake.
Unless that
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying it's not Marley.
Unless that lion cub can talk like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, then
right.
Which, if they can, I need that lion cub, and I will make millions.
Oh, Disney's already own it. I'm sure.
Yeah, they already have that lion cub somewhere.
Screw it, then.
It's not, and it's not that. Yeah, you're not attracted to the animal, but I mean, they look like an animal, but it's still pretty much a person under all that, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's talking like a person because, again, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. But it's interesting to see some of these.
Wait, Jake, what did your wife say?
Oh yeah, what did your wife
say? She didn't have one.
She's a liar. You married a liar.
I don't think that's true. No, but she wasn't big into cartoons as a kid, so that doesn't. it doesn't totally surprise me
Gotcha.
that she didn't have one.
So it's cool to see how your crushes develop cartoon wise as you grow up, because Marley, going back to Simba, who's your current crush? Who's your current cartoon crush?
Zuko.
Yeah. So it's a fully fleshed out, like, complex person. And you have a crush on
Still
Zuko.
a prince, though. I do want to point that out.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Prince
Zuko.
For royalty with family members who want to kill them.
Yeah.
Also a good point.
But I also love Azula, so where does that leave me? I don't know.
That's just interesting, is what that is.
I also just really I like villains. I have a thing for villains.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, as long as you're not doing that in like your actual dating life. You're like, I can fix them.
I can't shoot lightning out of my fingers, no.
Why?
Because I'm not a firebender yet.
I like
Give
the
it
yet.
time.
Spoken like a true earthbender.
Ew. Fire.
Ew.
Ew.
So how I'm trying to, and a lot of people, as they grew up, and I think we can attribute this to anime becoming more prevalent in our pop culture collective. A lot of people are starting to have crushes on anime characters. I have people here from My Hero Academia, Sword Art Online, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Violet Evergreen, Fairy Tail. What that is, I think. I don't know. Like I said, at some point, a lot of anime looks the same. There's another Sword Art Online. So most of the current crushes, though, so a lot of like the first crushes, we saw a lot of animals or anthropomorphized characters, and then they grow into being humans. But I don't think your first crush ever really goes away.
No.
Marley.
I mean, there's a special place in our hearts for them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
We go back and watch these movies or shows, and we're like, oh, yes, I love this, whoever it is.
She feels the same when she watches Pinocchio with JTT in it. That live action version.
With isn't Drew Carey in that or something?
I think he is, yeah.
I can't stand that movie. Oh my gosh. I hate Pinocchio. I'm sorry.
It's just kind of fun to see. Like, this is just a fun conversation because they're cartoon characters.
Yeah.
You know, there's not consequence about it. I mean, and we're just talking, oh yeah, they're cute. Oh yeah, Jessica Rabbit's hot. It's not like we're plotting ways to bring them into reality so that we can build relationships with them. I don't know. Maybe some people are doing that. In fact, there are some people who do that. That's why body pillows are a thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I think there's a healthy. I think it's healthy to have a certain amount of fantasy and like enjoy imaginative things and fantastical things. But yeah, as long as you understand that they are not real, and you know, it's okay to say, yeah, I had a crush on this cartoon, as long as it's not like I believe the cartoon is real or I want the cartoon to be real, or I don't know. But even then, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
No,
Live
but
your
Jake,
life.
you said something pretty cool, and that is that you pretty much married your Belle.
That's true. I did.
And Marley's looking for her Zuko. Or Simba. I don't know. Or Azula. I don't know. Or Elsa. And Zonner married his... She's not Jem.
No, she's not. I married the woman that is perfect for me.
Yeah. But I think it's okay to like find these traits and that you find admirable or attractive in cartoons and find them in a potential partner. That's fine.
I think in any good cartoon or any good story, you've got characters that are fleshed out to a certain point where you start to think, well, I like this character. Well, why do I like this character? And that's kind of the people that you want to gravitate toward and you want to be around.
Yep.
Except if you like villains. I don't think you want to be around villains.
Marley.
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't
Marley.
do that,
I
Marley.
don't know.
Say you don't want to be around villains. Marley. Next episode, Marley's intervention.
Let's dive deep into this the inner workings of my mind. Sure. Okay.
Ooh,
No.
this could be like terrifying.
Yeah, let's
Not as scary
We're-
as mine.
We're
We
not
are-
going to explore that.
There's not a single person here qualified to dive into any of our minds. So just so
True.
I don't have to explain myself to you guys.
nope, you do not. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Our love on this show is unconditional, Marley. It doesn't matter if you like
Yeah.
villains or not. You're still welcome.
or anti-heroes. They're
Ooh,
good
big
too.
big fan of
They're,
anti-heroes.
they're good too.
But if you do find your Zuko, I wish I had a nephew that could be your Zuko because I would love to be Uncle Iroh. Like he's just
Aw.
awesome and one of my favorites.
He is a great character.
I think one of the best characters ever made, truthfully.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, listeners, those of you that are here listening to us, who are your cartoon crushes? Let us know. Tell us in the comments for this video on Facebook, or just send us an email at. Oh, Colin's not here.
I'll do
That means
it.
okay,
Oh.
what is it?
Oh, well, I was gonna put the little thing on the bottom.
Send us an email at feedback@stolendroids.com.
Is that it? Feedback.
I don't know, man. I don't
This
know.
one.
That's
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I did it.
Feedback. Nice. We got the banners scrolling across. These are all of our social media places. Go follow us on all of those places. And other than that, thanks for listening and sticking
Yeah.
around for the whole show. And we'll see you next time.
Where we're not going to talk
Bye.
about Marley's love of villains. Bye.
That's all we're gonna talk about. Bye.
Marley's Love of Villains, episode
Billions.
414. Billions. Yep. Bye.